here's Brody Brazil.
You know, this is a story that I've heard bits and pieces of over the years, but when I went to do some research and learn more, there just wasn't much information out there about the high school football team from Barrow, Alaska. Look at their field. It's turf. It's blue. On one side, there's a lagoon. On the other side of this football field, like literally steps away, is the Arctic Ocean. Barrow, Alaska, as a town, is actually north of the Arctic Circle. And for so many reasons, this is such a cool story based on the backgrounds of humanity and sport and community. There is so many cool things to get to here, and that's why I wanted to make this video. First off, look at their field. Like, that alone deserves some attention, and it captivates people. Like, look where it's at. There's the lagoon, there's the Arctic Ocean. Max Preps recently put out this aerial photography, so catching everybody's interest, like what exactly is going on there? It's unique. I don't even actually know where the school's campus is, but they found this little special plot of land. They put a football field there. I'll tell you how they got the money to do this later on in the video. But if you watch highlights from a Barrow Whalers football game, I mean, watch this. It looks like just anywhere else in the country. I mean, how many other places across North America does that look like? The North, the East, the Midwest, the South, like that's high school football across the United States. And it looks the same all the way up there at the very tippy top of Alaska. So let's get into the geography first here, because I'm assuming most of you didn't even know where Barrow is at the very northernmost point there. In fact, it's the northernmost town in North America. So how many people could actually be living up there? Well, according to the 2020 census, the population was almost 5,000. Now, I believe Barrow High School, at last recent check, only had a total of maybe 400 students, something like that. We'll tell you about the football team specifically in just a second, but Barrow is Alaska's 12th biggest, I say city, but I feel like they're all towns up there in the state of Alaska. So it is way up there. The Barrow Whalers was the football team formed in 2006, so they've been around almost 20 years now. Their home field, as we mentioned, technically north of the Arctic Circle. In 2011, so 5 years into existence, they advanced to the Alaska State Football Finals. In 2017, they won an Alaska State title for the very first time. They were also finalists for the state title in 2018 and 2019. So they've had some success. It's not just a unique situation and a cool situation, but a successful one as well. In terms of this year, 2024, 8 scheduled games, 3 conference opponents. They had their first game back on August 16th, and they have to wrap up their season by October 5th. You can probably imagine why, and I'll explain in detail in just a second. 25 players on the roster, and I highly encourage you at some point, like right now or maybe after this video is done, go follow their head coach, Chris Battle, on X. His handle is @CoachCBattle, because it's kind of fun. It's almost like a welcome to Wrexham situation, where this is a real life team that exists in a far off place that you maybe weren't familiar with, but you can follow their results. Now that you know about them, you can follow their results in real time, straight from the source, straight from their head coach, Coach Chris Battle. So give Coach Battle a follow on social. The reason that they can't play longer than October, well, it's obvious. It gets cold and it gets dark fast. By October 21st, so this is a couple weeks after their last scheduled game, the sun sets at 6:01 p.m. I mean, you understand that for most of the winter, the sun doesn't come up in Barrow, Alaska, being that north on the globe. And as of October 21st, the average high, not the average temperature, the average high on October 21st is 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is crazy because where I live in California, there were days that we were in the pool mid to late October last year, which was abnormal and just, again, like 60, 70 degrees higher between California and Alaska at that time of year. I mean, yeah, to the point that polar bears literally roll up on the field sometimes. That's not fake. That's Barrow. That's the field. I mean, isn't like that is so cool, right? Well, it's cold and it's so cool. There's the team. I love the jerseys they wear with the north Across the front, they got their state flag. They're proud to represent it. I know that's not the entire team. I don't count 25 players right there. But what a sense of pride and a sense of community, small community. And they have to make magic happen every time there's a game. I know they're used to this. I know that that's what they're accustomed to, living conditions. Look at that field. Across the 48 continental United States, there are cold states and cold situations, but nothing quite like Barrow, Alaska. The Arctic Ocean is literally off in the distance over there. So here are my takeaways and the things that maybe you need to know. How did this football field even exist? Kathy Parker is a mom in the state of Florida. She saw a documentary that ESPN did on the Barrow High School football team, I want to say within the last decade or so, maybe even longer than that, but she helped raise $500,000 for this program to exist and for it to continue. In fact, you may have seen on the scoreboard there earlier in the video, it says Kathy Parker Field. They named the field after Kathy Parker because she just randomly thought, well, football means so much to us here in Florida, and it would mean so much to the people up in Alaska. How can we help make that happen for them? And all of this is a reminder of what sports can mean to community. I mean, I don't pretend to know what life is like in Barrow on a day-to-day basis, but I would imagine there's not a whole lot of things like this going on. I'm sure there's other community events and traditions, and it's special to live there in a lot of ways, I'm sure. But sports offers something unique like this. Even if it's only 6 to 8 games a year, even if it's only 3 to 4 times on your home field, it offers that sense of community. And again, especially for people living in Alaska who don't have it easy. And I mean the sense of logistics and supplies that you need, they get them. It's not like they're living on a different planet, but the point is, if you've ever understood what life is like up there, and from what I understand from it, it's not easy to pull all of this off. Jerseys, equipment, the necessities of life. It's a little bit different when you're that far north up in Alaska. But I also think what's cool about this is that 20 years ago, without technology, we would have no idea that this was even going on. It would only kind of be like legend. Oh, well, there's a team up in way at the top of Alaska, and they play games next to the Arctic Circle, and you'd be like, yeah, no, I don't know if that's real. Unless I see it, I don't know. No, like in 2024, we can see video, we can see highlights, we can see aerial photography, we can understand exactly how cool this is. So I'm glad that technology helps tell the story of the Barrow High School football team. And again, if anybody up there is watching this, please comment down below. That would be so special to me to know that this video and hopefully the story I've told does Barrow justice and the team justice and the players and their families justice. I would love to know that this video made it all the way up there to the northernmost town in North America. For everybody else, I really appreciate you making it here to the end of this video. Thumbs up down below. That'll greatly help me in this video, in this channel. Also, take one quick second, if you would, before this ends. Go down there and make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. That way I definitely get to see you back here next time.